I'm good.
This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Made in Australia.
G'day, mates, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of INCRadio Made in Australia. I am Brother Morgan Goodfellow from the local congregation of Townsville in the ecclesiastical district of Queensland, coming to you live from the land down under, the great southern land, Australia. So today, we're putting on our dancing shoes because this episode is all about dancing. Whether you're part of a dance group, love performing in church activities, or just someone who dances with joy at home, today's episode is for you, because dancing is not only about movement, it's also about expressing the happiness and thankfulness we feel through the talents our Lord God has given us. And joining us today is our very handsome host, Brother John. How are you, brother?
Thank you, Brother Handsome. Thank you very much. I am Brother John Villanueva from the local congregation of Dinfark, the ecclesiastical, I could never say that properly, District of New South Wales here in Sydney, Australia. We are really looking forward to this show today because we have a guest that will be, that I've seen many times perform, and I'm quite excited to interview them today. And of course, Brother Morgan, I have my dancing shoes on ready for this show for today, so I can't wait. So straight after the show, I'm going to look right in front of the mirror and have my own dancing session. But firstly, we would like to say a big thank you out to all of our amazing Made in Australia listeners. You guys are always listening every single week, every single show, every Sunday, 3 p.m. Philippine time, and different. So just use that as a timestamp there, because Australia has so many time zones. But 3 p.m. Philippine time every Sunday. So we thank you so much. You are always here supporting us, and for that we truly do love you for all the support and the awesome comments that you put during our live chat. So go ahead, Brother Morgan. I believe you are going to be introducing someone much more prettier and beautiful than us.
Absolutely. She is so much more. But before that, Brother John, we will have our Mates of Mia thank you video.
From the bushland to the beaches and everywhere in between, let's thank this week's Mates of Mia.
From the Ecclesiastical District of Queensland, Australia. We are INCRadio.
The local congregation of Gladstone. We love INCRadio.
The local congregation of Manor Lakes.
We are INCRadio.
Right, and a big shout out once again to all of our amazing Made in Australia mates. Thank you so much for your love, support, and awesome comments. We truly appreciate you. Before we continue, we'd love to give a big shout out and greetings to all of our early birds commenting in our live chat today. A big shout out to our beloved District Supervising Minister of Queensland, Brother Orlando Mackay, who says this is an exciting episode. Thank you for joining us this early, but we appreciate your support. We have our District CFO Overseer for Queensland joining us. Minister of the Gospel, Brother Mark Brunel Caseo. Hello, brethren. Hello, Mark. It's good to have you here nice and early with us, Bot. A big shout out to you for all of your support and for constantly sharing our links to our brethren across the districts. But we have early bird greetings from Nanetta, if I'm pronouncing that right, Nanette Arleno. Happy viewing to all brethren from the locale of Altona, the local congregation of Altona. We have Danny Pineda from the local congregation of Maddington. We have Khaled, who says, happy viewing, brethren, from the local congregation of Melbourne. Thank you for joining us, Khaled. Samuel Josh Doctor from the local congregation of Shepparton. Thank you for joining us, Samuel. And last but not least, we have Pia Miranda, who says, happy viewing to all brethren from the local congregation of Melbourne. So again, thank you for all of your support. Continue to send through your comments. We love to hear from you. Click the like, share, and subscribe button, as well as that notification bell to stay up to date with all of INC Radio Made in Australia's updates. And joining us today is the very beautiful host, Sister Bianca. How are you, sister?
Wow, thank you, Brother Morgan. Thank you, Brother John, for that wonderful introduction. And I just want to say hello to all of our mates in Australia and to all of our mates all over the world. I'm Sister Bianca Sarmiento from the local congregation of Campbelltown, and in the Ecclesiastical District of New South Wales, Australia. We are so excited to bring to you our episode today. It's going to be a very, very fun episode because dancing isn't just about moves. It's about joy, connection, and expressing the happiness we feel inside. How about you? What's your favorite moment when dancing brings people together? Let's find out more as we dive into our today's episode. So before we do that, let's take a sneak peek of what's coming up in today's episode. All right, let's wait for that video to come through. But of course, always stay tuned because you're watching Made in Australia, brought to you by INC Radio Australia Satellite Studio, one of the official satellite studios of INC Radio.
Here in Australia, dance isn't just a performance, it's an expression of joy, energy, and confidence. For some, it's a way to stay active, and for others, it's a passion that keeps the rhythm of life exciting. For Sister Jeanette and Sister Lavinia Beltran, dance classes are more than just learning choreography, they're a creative outlet and a reminder that movement can empower both body and spirit. Every step, every beat becomes a celebration of self-expression and community. And in every dance session, they prove that anyone can find their rhythm no matter their age or experience. Down under, dancing isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle that moves the heart one beat at a time.
All right, so an amazing episode for us today, brethren, and all those joining us. Welcome back to INC Radio. You are watching INC Radio Made in Australia, brought to you by INC Radio Australia Satellite Studios. And before we continue, just a few more shout outs to some of our early birds who are joining us today. We have Arias Marquina. Happy viewing from the Bookwood Night. So, in the Iglesia Ni Cristo Church of Christ, we have many organizations throughout the church. The Bookwood are the married members of the Iglesia Ni Cristo Church of Christ, and tonight they have sort of an appreciation day where they kind of get together as couples and just enjoy each other's company as the blessing they've received from our Lord God as husband and wife. So thank you for tuning in from the Bookwood Night, sister, for your activeness and for your support, Ka Aries. Joining us is Ka Pinoy Tinozi, from Australia. Happy viewing from the local congregation of Melbourne. We have Ka Rodora Doctor. Happy Bookwood Night from the local congregation of Shepparton. A lot of brethren are taking part in the Bookwood Night activity. It's good to see your activeness and support for INC Radio. We appreciate you, Port. And we also have Ka Angelic Sweetness, who says, happy viewing for everyone watching from the District Bookwood Night as well, who is also representing hashtag Wyndham, the local congregation of Wyndham. Continue to send through all of your support, guys. We love to hear from you. While you guys are also at the Book Good Night, be sure to take photos of you guys attending the Book Good Night, as well as viewing INC Radio, to send those photos through to your resident minister or overseers. I'll send them through to our producers, and we'll feature you guys in our upcoming episodes. So before we continue, we'd also like to hand you over to Brother John, who will be introducing today's guests.
Yes, these are the guests that we've been looking forward to. I've been watching them perform since they were very young. I've been very fortunate and privileged to be able to see them grow up. And their talent is just growing year after year after year. That's not that many years because in a relative term, they're still like babies to me because I'm a very old man already. But what we have here is we have Sister Ginés and Sister Lavinia Beltran joining us for today's show, who are the experts in this field of dancing down under. So, Sister Ginés, Sister Lavinia, could you please introduce yourself, which local congregation, and any duties you may have inside the Church of Christ?
Thank you so much, Brother John, Sister Bianca, and Brother Morgan. Hello, everyone. I would just like to introduce myself. I am Sister Ginés Beltran, and I'm a choir member from the local congregation of Sydney.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sister Lavinia Beltran, and I'm from the local congregation of Sydney, and I'm a choir member.
So obviously dancing is not just your skills, you can also sing, being part of the choir. So well done to you two. I know that you offer a lot of your time and you make a lot of sacrifice for to be able to perform inside the Church of Christ, especially with your dancing. Now, just a quick question. I'm sure a lot of the listeners out there are listening at the moment, are asking this question themselves. What inspired you? I mean, what actually inspired anyone in general to start dancing?
Well, I think for me personally, I had started dancing from a very young age, even since primary school. But I don't think it became much of a passion for me until I was about in year 7 or 8 of like first or second year high school, where I started listening to K-pop, and I started watching their K-pop dances. I was so inspired by that. Their, that energy and that style of dancing. The genre of dance as well that I'd never seen before. It was more of like a performance dancing. So you'd be singing and dancing at the same time, making sure that you're performing well for the audience and conveying a message. I think that's where I found inspiration when I first started.
Yeah, what inspired me was probably my older sister. I always looked up to her since I was younger. She was always performing all the time, dancing. So I think that's what inspired me the most. I think I also started at a very young age. I really loved, simple exercises like Zumba. Just doing that at home.
Yeah, that's so true, actually. We did do a lot of like workout dances together at home. And I think for my little sister as well, we started dancing together at home. And I remember, because even from a young age, I always thought that she was a lot better than I was. I always knew there was something about the way she moved. She had that grace and that move about her. So once I started dancing, I would sort of pull over to my room. She'd be minding her own business as well, and I'd pull out, Olivia, come here, and I would take her and I'd play some music and I'd be like, okay, now dance. Now change it up. You've done this move too many times. Do something else. And and then I kind of thrust that onto her. But it worked out.
Yeah, that's so beautiful how she looks at you as her hero. So she wants to be like your sister Ginés, and Sister Ginés saying that, oh no, I think my sister's a better dancer than I can because I recognize that she's a better dancer than I am. I think that's just a nice thing. You're probably both equally as good as each other. I mean, you do practice together a lot. Now, you mentioned that you took it seriously when you were in first or second year of high school. So you've been doing it since much younger than that. I mean, was it something that you grew up with, or is it just, you told us when the passion started, but is it something that was always around you in your household, something that your parents did? I mean, how did it really begin?
Yeah, to be honest, I think growing up, there was always music playing in our house from a very early age. Whether someone was singing or music was playing to dance, there was constantly music, or we'd constantly be playing different songs from our rooms or singing different songs even at the same time. And a very distinct memory for me growing up, I think, especially on Saturday mornings, first thing in the morning. None of us would even be awake yet, but our parents would already be vacuuming. There would already be music playing in the house, someone's singing, someone's dancing in the living room. And I suppose just growing up with it, we kind of just, well, I guess this is what's happening now. Everyone's singing and dancing, so we'll join in.
That's
Even
good.
more
So
of a
it's-
dancer. Is it your dad or your mom who dances more?
I think I would say my mom. On my mom's side, they do a lot more singing, a lot more dancing. My mom's definitely where I think where my sister got her grace from. Yeah, would you say so?
I think so too.
Well, she'll be so happy you said that. I'm sure she's listening right now. So I'm not sure how your dad feels about it, though. I'm sure he thought he was a better dancer himself. So
Oh, he's good too. He's good too. I would definitely say he's more of an entertainer. More of an entertainer.
That's a nice thing to say about you guys. So there you go, Brother Morgan. See, by the way, Brother Morgan is newly married. So when you have kids, Brother Morgan, also Sister Bianca, when you guys decide to have kids, it may be something that we can introduce into our household because it obviously brings bonds of that strengthens the bond within the household. I mean, look at these two sisters. What a great example of kids growing up together and they have something in common, something they enjoy, which is dancing. So I think it's time for you, Brother Morgan, to start get your heels out and start practicing dancing before the little Bubba comes out. So,
Yeah, absolutely, Brother John. No, the amazing examples for our guests today, Sister Janesse, Sister Lavinia. We'll dive more into how much dancing kind of promotes unity within communities, health benefits as well. But firstly, for Sister Janesse, Sister Lavinia, we want to understand when you guys kind of get into your performance and your rehearsals and stuff like that. What do you guys do usually in order to prepare? Do you warm up? Do you have like a certain attire that you have to wear? Or even choosing the right music? How do you guys prepare before a performance?
So we definitely warm up. Usually it takes about 15 minutes to warm up. We really need to stretch. It's really important. As well as, getting prepared, getting your water, getting your towels ready, even choosing the proper, attire that's, easy to move in, not too heavy.
Yeah, that's so true. I think especially for dance, it's as much as it is an art, I do want to say I do consider it as a sport as well, just because of how intensive it is and how much energy you have to put in with it. Absolutely.
Yeah, anything. So you're kind of saying before you get into a performance, you have to understand what you're getting yourself into, kind of ready not only your mind, but your body. Sister Janesse and Sister Lavinia, they give us an understanding, kind of warming up before dancing offers several benefits, which is including, you need to stretch in order to reduce any risks of injury. It also improves the performance through increased flexibility and strength to our audience listening today, and prepares the body mentally for movement. So there's a lot that goes into dancing. It's not just on the spot, although you can do it on the spot, but there may be some risks.
It's so hard, Brother Morgan. I did that before, like on the spot. Oh my gosh. Like my body is just like aching because it's also an exercise. It's a good exercise. And as what Sister Janesse and Sister Lavinia mentioned, that dancing is also kind of like a workout for them. And, altogether, you need to keep your body healthy so that you can perform better. And it also, lifts up our mood, makes us more happy, and, just, keep our energy up. So it's really good form of exercise, I would say.
And if you notice that they mentioned that they do stretches, okay? Now, Sister Janesse mentioned earlier today that the stretches isn't just your everyday stretches that you can, I think I'll stretch today, get out of bed stuff. No. They do what they call, what was that again you called, Sister Janesse?
We do our dynamic stretches.
Dynamic stretches.
Yes.
For those of you who aren't aware what dynamic stretches is, it's just not stretching. It's actually stretching with force so that the muscles that you require to be able to stretch, even to do the split, for example, that requires muscles. You need to build that up. And so that in alone is a sport in itself.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So dynamic stretching is more of like using different parts of your body to actually do that particular stretch. Is that right?
You know what they do is when they do the stretch, it just builds them, because when you do normal stretches, you just stretch, but then sometimes you require people to push you, so you push the other way. So at the same time, you're building the muscles. And
Yeah.
if they do that, that's tiring. People do that for 5 minutes and they're exhausted. And these girls, obviously, because of so many years of training and experience, it's a standard for them. So they don't just stretch before the event. They actually do a lot of dynamic stretching involved. Actually, I've seen some of you guys when you're doing your rehearsals, doing stuff like that. And I was thinking, are these guys crazy?
Do you
Look
have
at them.
any
They're so good.
to warm up? Is there any like particular moves that you do as a warm up besides like stretching? Do you like
Oh,
like
yeah.
examples for those listeners or viewers that are really interested to be doing dancing in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. There was, I think, one of the most memorable ones that we do. It seems really simple, but you would do just arm circles, just straight up arm circles, and it starts off slow and it starts off easy, but you have to do it in time to the music. And as you go through the song, you have to get faster and faster with your arm circles, up and down, up and down. You have to stay on time with the beat, and it gets fast, and you can't put your arms down, but it really trains your arm strength to get all of the sharp movements and all of the pictures of the choreography. I think it does happen every time our arm movements get a little bit sloppy or we're lacking a little bit, and then we turn on the arm movement exercise, and everyone just knows our arms are gonna be aching after this exercise. Yes, but after that, after those sort of like dynamic stretches and that warm up movement, it helps a lot. I think it's absolutely necessary even before you dance, because you can just enjoy yourself. There's a lot of preparation that has to go into it beforehand, so that you can practice the sport safely.
Yeah, because that's still a bit of a joint that you got to warm up, isn't it? And
absolutely.
I mean, you can see when somebody hasn't warmed up during the dance, the pops are not that powerful. That when they're doing the pops, they look really, really stiff still, and then they can injure. They can actually pull the muscles in different parts of their body. I know this because when I used to be a dance instructor, I'm joking. I'm only wishing, but I know because just putting hands up on its own, give it like 5 minutes, it's already hurting. And these girls are like, doing the, flapping the wings and everything. And they're quite impressive, actually. Sorry, Brother Morgan, you were asking them a question. I just rudely interrupted you there because I know that you're taking this seriously because we want to be able to learn how to dance. We'll go to dance lessons together, Brother Morgan. So we'll be part of the next event at the church when there's a big dance move, okay? We'll do solos.
I've been waiting for you to ask me that all my life.
Yeah.
But no, it is very important. There's a lot of preparations into readying yourself, as Sister Janessa, Sister Lavinia has explained to us, into preparing before performances. Your warm-ups will reduce, any risks of injury, preparing your body and mind, and it will increase the muscle strength in your flexibility. We'll continue on, Sister Janessa, Sister Lavinia. So when you guys, obviously you have your rehearsals and stuff like that, you need quite a large space, I'm guessing, to prepare and to rehearse. Where do you guys usually go to rehearse and perform?
Yeah, you definitely need a large space, especially when you're performing as a group or practicing as a group. But when we first started, or even when I first started, I found myself just dancing at home. To start with, I just needed a full body mirror. I could dance in my room. And then later on, when we're dancing in groups or taking classes, that's when we would take it to the studio, because the large full body mirrors really makes a big difference. You can take up all of the space that you need, or when you need to travel from one end of the stage to another, and controlling your spatial awareness, the studio really helps a lot. And the mirrors make a big difference in correcting your movements, making sure everybody's in sync or whatnot. Yeah, so I think, it's doable at home. For performances, I think studio practice is good.
But I think, you're right, Sister Janice. Like, practicing in a studio is the best way to actually see yourself in front of like a big mirror, and then, check your posture and see if you're doing it correctly. Because sometimes you feel like, oh, I think I'm doing it right. But like for me, if I see myself in front of the mirror, it's awkward. It's not the way it's supposed to be. So it's really good to see yourself, and of course, together with your group mates, your dance mates, you can correct each other because you actually have that bond already. So talking about like bonding moments with your dance mates, with church member and non-church members, we know dancing often brings us close together. not just as a group, but as brothers and sisters in faith when we do these church performances. So, who do you usually love dancing? Is it with friends, family, fellow brethren in the church, or a mix and match of everyone?
I would say my friends. I feel like I learn a lot from them. We learn a lot from each other. On top of that, we also have fun. Yes, I would say all my friends. We share the same passion for dancing, so I think that's what connects us together.
Yeah, I did do a lot of dancing with my friends in the past, especially in high school as well. And also with a lot of my friends for church performances. I think that despite um, doing a lot of dance performances in the past with a wide range of people, I think I still especially love dancing with my family. There's a special bond there. There's something about it, compared to the difficult moves and the choreography and having to get the picture right. There's something about being able to just dance at home with your family, be a little bit goofy, not worry about if you're doing the move right.
I totally agree because even with other things in my life, in my friends' life, in my family's life, we're more of like, we want to do our passion, maybe dancing, singing, or whatever it is. You want to be comfortable, you want to be relaxed. And of course, if you're dancing with people that you love and appreciate, and those people who actually corrects you in a good way, you improve yourself. You love dancing more, you love singing more, you love those hobbies more because of the support that you get. And that's what we actually have as well inside the Church of Christ, like our bond, our unity as members, not just like in a church activity, but also like big church performances. And in that being said, is there any dance performance or activities inside the church that made you really feel inspired? It can be like a celebration, an occasion, you name it, whatever it is.
I think the Oz 40 performance really inspired me.
Yeah.
Back then, I was only about 10 years old. So I was really, yeah, I was so much younger compared to everyone else who was dancing on stage. It was such a big moment for me. I was so short and small, and I was in such a big venue in front of so many people. And I felt really included, with all the other dancers, despite my age.
Yeah, no, that's true. I remember doing the Oz 40 performance as well. It was very special to be performing in the Sydney Opera House for the church anniversary and being part of all of those church productions as well. I think one of the more memorable ones for me was when I was younger as well. I think I was about 14 or 15, and I was blessed enough to have the opportunity to perform at the Philippine Arena in 2014 for the centennial at that time. Yeah, that was amazing. We had chosen about
Wow, that's amazing. You know what? The good
dancers,
thing
yeah.
is, like, not everyone can say. Yeah, not everyone can say they perform at the Sydney Opera House, let alone at the largest indoor arena in the world, the Philippine Arena. It's not everywhere every day. So you being involved with the church is giving you that opportunity to perform on the world stage effectively, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Very very proud about what we're able to do here. Absolutely. It was such a good experience as well. It was really humbling being able to see all of the other dancers from around the world as well and be inspired by them and their faith and what they do for church. That was a really touching experience for me, and I was only quite young. I was 15, and growing up I absolutely thought like, oh, I want my sister to see this as well, to know that feeling, know that experience.
Right, and
That's
so
beautiful.
obviously you guys are extremely active in the church. You guys perform inside and outside of the Iglesia Ni Cristo. You guys are studying. You guys are working also. We also want to get an understanding of kind of, since dancing takes a lot of energy, how do you guys make sure you're able to stay healthy and focused despite your busy schedules?
I'd say sleep is very important. Getting your 8 hours of sleep before performance or just in
Yeah.
general, because I feel like uni or work may take a lot of your time. So ensuring you rest well. You're eating healthy as well. Drinking a lot of water. You're always
Yeah,
sweating
that's a
while you're
must.
dancing.
That's a must.
Yeah.
You cannot dance without drinking a lot of water. I think sleep is super important
Yeah.
too. You mentioned that. I think for me as well, especially now that I'm working, Vivian's a lot younger than me, so she has a lot more energy. She's fine. She can dance on whatever. But for me, I find especially, you know, after a long day of work and then going to dance rehearsals, I can feel every hour of sleep that I had missed the night before. So getting a good night's rest beforehand to prepare is crucial. You'll feel it when you dance, when you move, and staying hydrated is definitely a must. I think even I could also be taking pre-workout before our dance rehearsals, just to make sure that, just to get that boost of energy and being able to give it my all during rehearsals. Yeah, it's definitely tough. You definitely have to try and stay healthy and keep the lifestyle just to keep up with the hobby, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess they kind of work both hand in hand. Your activeness as performers, as well as maintaining a healthy lifestyle, contributes to one another. Obviously, your sleep is imperative. You've got to make sure you have the correct energy, the supplements to contribute to that energy, but also the benefits of after your performance, you're able to receive, improved physical and mental health, which fosters your social connections, providing powerful form and self-expression, which contributes to the craft of your dances. So it all circles back to your performance, your recovery, all working in line with each other. We also want to get a bit of an understanding, Sister Janess, Sister Lavinia. Have you ever joined in any, other INC dance presentations or Iglesia Ni Cristo dance presentations for the communities? Have you got any experiences you can share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say one of the more recent ones was we performed for the opening performance for the Unity Games, which is a sort of sports tournament that we do here at church, which is really fun and refreshing. I think that's memorable for us because you'd think, oh, why would you have a dance performance to start off a sort of sports event, right? But if you think about coming there so early in the morning, like around 7 a.m. or so, what we want to do as performers is set the tone for all of the brethren. We want to make sure that everyone has the energy. We want to set the tone of enthusiasm and and zeal for everyone else. Even as early as 7 in the morning, want to kick off the event with a bang, so to say. So I think, that was one of the more memorable dance presentations that we've done recently for church, and why we do that.
Yeah, even the inter-district Unity Games, I think in 2024, we flew out all the way to Melbourne to dance with the dancers in Melbourne. We performed together, so I think that was also very fun.
Yeah, that was very
You guys perform obviously as a group inside the Iglesia Ni Cristo. Do you guys have a name for your team, or do you guys represent each other as anything?
There were times where we would have names, but I don't know if they'd stick. I think we had called ourselves the District Dance Company for a while. That was during my time. I don't know if we still call ourselves that. But no, I suppose we've sort of opened up the doors to everyone, really. I think putting a name on it, we'd want to more invite everyone. We don't really want to separate, like, oh, we are the group that dances, and it's hard to get to know. We want everyone to know that, at any given opportunity where we're doing a sort of dance performance for a church production or a church event, we would like to open that up to anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
So for anybody that might be interested or might be viewing today's episode, what's the best way for them to kind of get in contact with you to kind of get an introduction to dancing?
Honestly, through any of our social media is fine, or you could also contact your CFO president. So whichever age group you're in, definitely get into contact with them, and they'd be able to get into contact with our dance choreographer, and they'll let us know. And yeah, we'll give you the schedule for our rehearsals, and feel free to join. It's any level of dance experience. We will make it work, and you'll be able to join. That's definitely how we do that.
Oh, there we go, Brother John. We have our opening.
We have a hope.
Absolutely.
We have hope there. I heard that.
So also for our viewers, the CFO presidents are our Christian family organization officers inside the Iglesia Ni Cristo. If you're not too familiar with those officers, if you might be non-members of the Church of Christ, feel free to approach all those who may have sent these links out to you, and they'll be able to direct you to your first dance lesson. And finally, sisters, we want to get an understanding of how dance may have been able to teach you something more on a personal level, more deeper, heartfelt, I guess, to say, and maybe it may be regards to your confidence as a person, your personal development, your growth mindset, teamwork, or even a life lesson that you may be able to share with us today. Sister Jeanette, we'll start with you.
I think for me, confidence was a big one growing up, but after years and years of dancing, more recently, I found that being able to dance in these settings has taught me a lot of gratefulness. It's a little bit more unconventional, but being able to dance and having the health and having my life and my strength, I think it's absolutely a privilege. I would say it's a luxury, and it's something that I absolutely want to use in serving God, in pleasing our Lord God, and also inspiring all of the brethren, and being able to inspire those as well who aren't in church, and letting them see what it is that we do here in the Church of Christ, because not everyone has that opportunity and privilege to be able to do that. Not everyone has that health, and not everyone's in that situation. So for everyone who can't, I want to be sure that I can, and that I should use that privilege in serving our Lord God. So I think that's something I learned recently.
That's beautiful. By the way, I just thought I'd bring it up really quickly before we go on our break. Is that for those of you who are listening and you're curious about some of the talents that the Church of Christ, especially the youth, have, you could go straight to one of our websites, which is incmedia.org, probably my favorite website in all this world, right? incmedia.org. You'll see a lot of examples of music videos, all original music written by the Church of Christ, and also the dancing and performance that I have. So if it's something you're curious with on what they do, go to incmedia.org, and from that website, you can also reach out to us in any parts of the world and just request to be, I live in Campbelltown in Sydney. Can you get me in touch with someone in that area so I can take part or learn more about your church? So just go to incmedia.org. So I just thought I'd bring that up because a lot of the things that you do is being showing in incmedia.org. Go ahead, Brother Morgan. I'm sorry to interject.
Yes, that's right. So we can also subscribe in all of our channels in YouTube, and you'll see like Christian music videos as well. That's right, Brother John. And you can see all the channels that you can probably relate with. So just, like, subscribe, and then it will just flow through your homepage. And of course, speaking of YouTube channel, we have a lot of comments coming through in our YouTube chat. Of course, we don't want to forget our listeners and viewers who always supports us along the way. So hello to Brother Grisam Tarok. Hi to Lavinia from Queensland. Raymond Mabulak, happy watching po. We love INCRadio. From the local congregation of Shepparton. Girly May Barbo, happy viewing to all the brethren. Greetings from the Cabanero family, local of Shepparton. We have Olive O'Malley, happy viewing to all brethren from local congregation of Wyndham. Nigel Albinto, happy viewing po from local of North Brisbane. Cheryl Sena, happy viewing everyone from local of Dean Park. Ricky Boy Chabadan, happy viewing po from local of Kingston City. We have Sister Marifa Benedicta Ramosa from the local congregation of Adelaide, watching from South Australia. Greetings po to Ka DJ. Eileen Kalata, hello po mga kapatid from local of Manor Lakes. Hello po. Gliza Coronel, happy viewing from local of Ellenbrook. Irma Laos from local of Dean Park. Vivian Roy, happy viewing, dear brethren. Sending warm greetings from Catherine Group Worship Service. Always tuned in and inspired by INCRadio. Thank you po. Sister Renalyn Limbago, happy viewing from local congregation of Melbourne. John Brenner Case from local of Hobart, Tasmania. Hello, Nessa Matiba from local of Kingston City, watching here from Booklot Night. Hello to all of you there in the Booklot Night po. Sister Kyla Castillo, happy Sunday from local of Rockingham. Sister Heidi Villanueva. Hello, Sister Heidi. Greetings to all from local of Dean Park. And last but not least, Aisha Sophia from the local congregation of Knox City. Brother Morgan?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much to all of our brethren and our guests joining us today in the live chat. We love to hear from you. Continue to send through your comments. If you can relate anyway to today's discussion, feel free to leave a comment and we'll be sure to mention you. So we'll jump back into our discussion. We'll circle back to the life lessons with Sister Lavinia in regards to your dancing experiences and kind of, I guess, your personal career in dancing. How have you been able to develop personally within your life as a dancer? Has dancing kind of given you any deep and meaningful life lessons, essentially, Sister Lavinia?
I think that I knew ever since I was young that I had a really deep passion for dance and I had that talent in me. And I've kind of recognized that as a gift from God. And so I want to utilize that skill, you know, to perform for others, to inspire others, and to connect with everyone and just, you know, create a special bond. Um,
I think your confidence as well definitely
Yeah.
has changed since growing up.
Yeah, I used to be, you know, really shy when I was little. I
Mhm.
didn't even start dancing until I was maybe like around 8. So yeah, and then as I got older, I realized that maybe I should, you know, use my skill more and be more confident in myself and actually apply these skills in my performances.
Yeah, amazing. So it definitely takes a
Well,
lot of
that's
courage
yes.
to kind of step out of your comfort zone to learn new things. But it's good to have each other as your sisters encouraging one another. It definitely helps. Used to both grow not only within your dance performances, but you can see how your faith contributes to your ability to be able to improve your dancing, to be able to step out of your comfort zones. So we appreciate you taking us on your journey. Sister Janess, Sister Lavinia, it's so inspiring, Brother John.
Yeah, definitely is. I mean, it's funny how she just said, I started a little bit late, so I started when I was 8. I was thinking, anyway, all right. If that's late to you, man, 53, I don't know. There's still hope. You're
Not
putting my
too
hopes
late.
up and down and up and down.
Never too
So,
late.
so for someone like me there, okay, Sister Lavinia, because you started so late in life, okay? So what would be your advice for those who are new to dancing? So what's one tip or piece of advice that you'd give to help them start with confidence and purpose like you had at that very old age of 8?
I think don't be afraid to make mistakes, you know, don't be afraid to look silly. Just always stay consistent and try to open yourself to more people who have the same experiences as you or who's going through the same things as you. You know, you can journey through together through your experience of dance. So
Yeah, that's true. I think for my sister though, she was quite talented from the start, so it's a bit much. But like from someone like me who was when I first started dancing, I was pretty awkward. It was a bit hard to watch. I think my tip and advice, it's true. It was really hard to watch
It's
the
hard.
way I
It's
used to
hard to
dance
picture
before.
that, Sister Janice. It's very hard to imagine that you were awkward. I don't ever recall seeing you looking awkward anyway. So it's yeah. You saying that's like it's alien to me.
No, it's
And
definitely true. Yeah.
that's right, Sister Janice. Like, I know a couple of my friends who are like really scared on like just dance, like the simple dance moves. But even for me, I'm not an expert, but I would tell them that just do it. As what Sister Lavinia mentioned, that don't be afraid to commit mistakes because that's where you learn everything from, right? And to be in your level, you've made a lot of mistakes already. You've improved along the way with the help of our brethren, brothers, sisters in the faith, your dance choreographers, and as sisters, of course, you help each other. So even for me in my life, I also apply that, and it's a good point to let our listeners or viewers who are really interested in dancing. So can you give like an example of like a particular mistake or anything or any struggle that you had along the way and what actually helped you to overcome it?
I think for me when I started, I found that while a lot of the times when I dance, it felt right, I would look at it and I would think, wow, that looked really awkward. That looked a little bit uncoordinated. And so I think to start off with, I did a lot of dancing alone in my room. And what I did was I would just record it and then I'd watch it back and I would revise and change that. And I think that helped me build a lot of confidence where I think before putting myself out there, I had to convince myself first that I was happy with it. But at the end of the day, if you have that confidence to begin with, if you feel like you don't even have to look good, honestly, being able to put yourself out there, a lot of the dancers that I know, a lot of more professional, more qualified dancers that I know, when they look at a dancer, it's more about the energy and the heart that they have into it, rather than doing the move perfectly, or making it look nice or a certain way. It's all about your efforts.
That's correct. They do say that competency is the road to competency is paved with mistakes, and the beauty of it, because you guys are so you beautiful sisters out there are so active in the church, that I believe through your prayers you continue to reach those milestones in your skills. Because I believe, apart from you working hard and practicing, is that I strongly believe that God is with you. What do you think about that, Sister Janice?
Yeah, absolutely. There were a lot of times where, we'd have our own self-doubts and things like that, especially starting from such a young age, dancing alongside a lot more older, experienced dancers. We would have those self-doubts, but at the end of the day, we'd pray to God, let him know all of our concerns and our cares, and just remember that when we do dance for our church activities and productions, it's never about how you look or how good you're doing. It's all about being able to inspire everyone, putting yourself out there and using your life and strength to edify the brethren and to bring glory to God.
Yes, and I also believe that as long as we have God's guidance in everything that we do, everything will also fall into place. And in every performance that we do inside the church, we always pray to our Lord God to guide us, to help us give the performance that we want to give to our audience. And I've seen Sister Janice and Sister Janez and Sister Lavinia and all of their performance in the INC production, and I've been to a lot of those occasions, events that we had, and it's just amazing how you kind of like reflect all of your efforts, all of your passion into it, and it's just amazing to see the end result of the efforts that you put into all of your performances. And of course, when we dance with joy in our hearts, we reflect the light of our faith as well in our performances. And how has dancing deepened your faith to our Lord God? Reminding you that every talent and skill we have is a truly gift from, truly a gift from Him.
Yeah, definitely for me, I find that, similar to what I mentioned before, because it's such a privilege. I feel like my health and, still I still have all of my limbs. That's absolutely a gift. I have to use it. And, dancing has definitely deepened my faith. I had to live through the experience myself, with such a busy schedule and growing up, I still had school and things like that. And I just would remember, and that was one of the first times where I had to take that step and put God first. Where, for example, there were times where I would be doing my HSC trials for school, and there were opportunities where I would have dance rehearsals the night before the exam, or there was even a moment where I went to fly to Philippines to perform for the church production, and there was an exam that I had missed. So as soon as I had landed back to Sydney, Australia, I had to take that exam the day I landed, and I didn't get quite a chance to study for it. But when I took that exam and the results came back in, glory be unto God, it had just so happened that I had the highest mark for that exam somehow.
Yay!
Somehow.
Well done, well done.
That memory, I'm able to cling on to that. So every time my sister is like, I'm busy, I have this, I have that, I have to study, I'll be like, look, it's okay. You just put God first. You put the activity first. Trust me, I lived through it. You're gonna get just what you need. You're going to be fine. And I'm so proud that I was able to live through that and have that experience. And I definitely want, for my sister and for all of the other youth out there, if you put God first, absolutely He will give you what you need. It's true. It's really true.
That is so inspiring. It's so funny because I was just talking to my daughter Jody about that the other day, because she's about to finish high school and she's thinking about, what's gonna happen in the end. I just said, at the end of the day, you said exactly what I told her. You know what? I have to do a special mention that it's good credit to good parenting. And that's the beauty about when we have our worship services. We get taught as parents how to bring our children up at a very young age. And you are the perfect result of what all parents are trying to achieve. And me personally, that's a perfect result that I'm also trying to achieve for my daughter. And then I find you two very, very inspiring. And before we go on, Paul, I would like to just acknowledge everyone in that book club formal in Melbourne. Thank you so much for all your support. We know that you're all watching, so I just thought I'd pass it on really, really quickly. Now, enough about me. Go ahead, Brother Morgan or Sister Bianca. Go ahead, please.
Yes, of course. I just want to greet Brother Mobs Magno. Hello po to Malari family from local congregation of Altona. Marvin Del Rosario. Happy viewing po from to everyone from local congregation of Townsville, Queensland, Australia. Manuelito Olarte from local congregation of Ellenbrook. Happy viewing po to everyone. God bless po. Brother Carlo Falian. Hello, my previous overseer in Adelaide. Happy viewing to the brethren of Broken Hill Group worship service from local congregation of Adelaide. Alex Keeson, hello po, Brother John. Happy viewing to all brethren rather well from Keeson.
Hello, Brother Alex.
From La Philippine Park. Thank you. And also, hello to my fellow brethren in the local congregation of Campbelltown. But of course, we would not end this conversation just like this. Now let's jump into one of our viewers' all-time favorite segments, and it is game time.
It's game time. Let's play.
All right, everyone in the live chat, get ready to type your answers. When we ask this question, this is your opportunity to win a Made in Australia or INCRadio Australia souvenirs. And I'll be joining you very, very shortly. So make sure that you type your answers with your local congregation so we know who to send it to. So your full name and the local congregation so that we can guarantee that, yes, there's a guarantee here that we can get these items to you, your prices to you. So without further ado, go ahead, Brother Morgan. What is the question that we have for our listeners to have the chance to win this souvenir?
Yes, thank you, Brother John. So let's jump straight into our segment. Korea Tech, if we could load up the first question. All right, so for our audience who have been listening to today's episode, first question is, before any dance performance or rehearsal, what's the most important step dancers take to prepare their bodies and reduce the risk of injury? It is multiple choice. We'll go through them again. A is practice their choreography once, or B, warm up and stretch their muscles, C, eat a light snack, or D, meditate quietly. Be sure to put through your answers, as Brother John had mentioned, with your local congregation, so we know where to send through today's winners INCRadio merchandise for today's winners. So in our chat, do we have any correct answers yet?
You know, I'm surprised, Brother Morgan, that the answer I was looking for wasn't there. You know, have a big piece of steak. That's what I thought. I mean, like, don't you need the energy? I would have gone for a big, massive, protein. But Scotch fillet is fine with me too, okay? But it's not there. So what could it be then? So all you listeners out there, we're looking forward to your answers, and we're looking forward to actually presenting you this merchandise, because we are very excited to always present this merchandise. Okay, go ahead. Sorry to interject again, Sister Bianca. I have a habit of just butting in, don't I?
Yes, no worries at all. Brother John, any time for you, of course. So we have some comments. Evelyn Vivas, local of Wyndham, happy viewing to all. Not yet the answer. Jared Nagal from a local congregation of Maryland. Still waiting for some answer, Brother John and Brother Morgan. But maybe we can ask Sister Janice or Sister Lavinia for the answer, because they will be the best people to answer it.
All right. So I'd say before any dance performance or anything like that, I think it's non-negotiable. You've got to warm up your body. Definitely warm up your body. Do some stretches.
Ooh. Let's see. What's the answer? Yay! You're correct.
Warm up and stretch their muscles. That's what we've been talking about at the beginning of that show. So did anyone get the right answer from our chat by any chance?
We have Sister Ayuki Del Rosario from the local congregation of Townsville. Townsville represent Del Rosario family, who's coming with the correct answer, B. Make sure to stretch. So we'll continue to tally up all of the correct answers from all of our guests and audience participating today. Be sure to send through your local congregations as Sister Ayuki has done, and we'll be sure to mention the winner at the end of today's episode. So, congratulations, Sister Ayuki. We'll jump into our next question. Koya Tech. All right, and question 2. In dance, which part of the body plays the biggest role in maintaining rhythm, timing, and connection to the music? Is it A, the head for memorizing steps, B, the hands for impressive gestures, C, the feet, which is the dancer's inner sense of beat, and D, the shoulders for balance and posture? Sister Lavinia, Sister Janice, do you guys know possibly what the answer might be?
I think my guess would have to be your feet, brother. I think your feet is that's your foundation, right? That's where you get your balance from. That's where you get your rhythm from. Setting up your feet for good balance means that the rest of your body can follow suit. I'm gonna guess C.
Yeah, that was my answer too.
Okay.
Oh, I would have thought it was the head. Maybe you start with the head because you hear the music, you just go. And I thought the rest followed up.
And you know what I noticed, like looking at like those professional dancers?
Yeah, check this out, choreography. Check this choreography out, Sister Bianca. Look, see?
Those dance choreographies, those dance moves, how can you actually memorize them? It's so hard.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I think that's one of the hardest parts as you go. I think as you continue dancing more and more, you'd find that some moves intuitively follow other moves if you've done them before. But yeah, for your first time doing it and everything's new, it's just information overload.
I would hope, yeah. That's I think, yeah, that's one of the things that a lot of people would expect, memorizing those steps. But what's the answer for our question, Brother Morgan?
So, Koya Tech, are our guests correct?
Oh, you mean I'm wrong? How did that happen?
All right, it's the feet. It's really true that you're through the feet, and you're guided closely by the music when you dance.
So, Sister Bianca, do you mind? This is a special personal one. I have family who are not yet members of the Church of Christ listening to this song in the Philippines. So I'd like to to this show in the Philippines from Las Piñas, the Villanueva family, the clan there. So hello po. I promise you, when I do get there, we will go to Central Temple. I will give you the tour of all the chapels that you want to see all over the Philippines when I get there. So I just like to give shout out because they're watching at the moment. So thank you very much for all your support. Go ahead with the. I like interjecting, so go ahead, please.
All right, I think are we going to do the last question? Okay, quickly. So when performing, Kuya Tech, can I please play it? So when performing in a group, what key factor allows dancers to move in harmony and create a unified performance? Sorry, I'm going to repeat that again. When performing in a group, what key factor allows dancers to move in harmony and create a unified performance? A, matching costumes and lighting. B, teamwork, timing, and spatial awareness. C, individual creativity and improvisation. Or D, stronger music volume. All right, let's ask our guest for the last question.
Well, I'd say number B. Letter B. Letter B. Letter B.
All right, Kuya Tech, what's the answer? Can we please play it? Okay, that's right. It's teamwork, timing, and spatial awareness. Successful group performances rely on coordination, observation, and trust. Okay, brother.
Yes, she's like, I hope we got this right, because we're the experts here. So I can see them looking at them. Oh, please let it be right. This is gonna be embarrassing, but you did well. You had a perfect score today. 100%. Did we get any right answers there from any of our listeners and viewers?
So we only have Sister Ayuki at the moment with the letter B from our first question today. So I'm guessing we're just going to have to go off of that. Congratulations, Sister Ayuki. We'll be sure to send out your INCRadio merchandise, which is most likely an INCRadio mug. Congratulations. Thank you for your support. She's one of our youth members of the Church of Christ here in the Iglesia Ni Cristo at the local congregation of Townsville, who's always very active in the Church of Christ. a choir member nonetheless, and is always tuning into INC Radio, Made in Australia, with her family, her brother Marvin Del Rosario, and her mum, sister Tassan Del Rosario. So again, thank you so much, Bot, and we'll be sure to send out that mug to you as soon as possible. Before we wrap up today's show, we'll get a few greetings from our guests today, Sister Janessa and Sister Lavenia. Is anybody special you'd like to give a quick greeting to, Bot?
Awesome. Thank you so much. I think we'd like to start off by greeting our parents, of course. So Brother Jay and Lori Belchin. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom and Dad. And also to all of our relatives in the Philippines, Brother Doddy, our grandpa, and Sister Debbie and Louise, as well as to Brother Danny Belchin and family there in the Philippines. Hello, everyone. I hope you're well.
We'd also like to greet Brother Dudley Ardonia and their family from Melbourne, and also all of our friends and loved ones from the local congregation of Sydney. So hello to our a cappella group, Sydney Sound Academy and the Sydney Choir.
Great, amazing sisters. Thank you so much for taking us on your journey, sharing your experience with us as dancers and performers inside the Iglesia Ni Cristo. We truly appreciate you taking the time to share your experience with us today. That will wrap up today's episode. Dance with joy, move with purpose, and let every step shine with faith. Stay tuned this season as we continue exploring what it's like to live, work, and thrive in the land down under. A big thank you to all of our viewers, commenters, and special guests, to our Christian family organization. Thank you for giving us opportunities to create shows that uplift and inspire. Above all, we thank our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Irania V. Manalo, and our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. See you next week. Take care and God bless.
Bye.
Thank you. See you next week.
Thank you. We'll see you next week.
From the bushland to the beaches and everywhere in between, let's thank this week's Mates of Mia.
From the Ecclesiastical District of Queensland, Australia.
We love INCRadio. The local congregation of Gladstone. We love INCRadio.
The local congregation of Manor Lakes.
We love INCRadio.
Made in Australia.